Today on Cracking Cases. Hey everybody, what's going on tonight? Thanks for joining. Got ready to go. Thank you guys so much for coming over here and checking out what we got going on tonight. We got a good show for you. We're going to be joined by Naomi from Seeds of Hope. We're going to be joined by GonZo tonight, and we should have a pretty awesome turnout. Let me see if I can fix this in the background here, and we'll get to it. Awful. Awful. There we go. It's a little better. It's gonna blur in and out a little bit, but nope. This is part of it, guys. You'll see if you ever have to go through this, you'll see what we deal with if you ever start a channel. Okay, I'm just gonna go back to that right there. All right. Anyway, so we're gonna wait for them to come in here, and we're gonna talk a little bit. I'm gonna hey everybody, I'm sorry I'm not gonna go through one by one, but I see all of you. Thank y'all for being here. But so we're gonna wait for them to come in, and we're gonna talk about just open discussion about everything. Naomi from Seeds of Hope is a researcher. She does a really good job. We're going to discuss some things with her. We're going to go over the Cadaver scent project. I kind of talked about that the other night a little bit, and I didn't go over it. We're going to talk about, we're going to bring GonZo in. We're going to bring, see what he's been having going on. And I think it's just going to be just I guess free for all. We're gonna do like a freestyle Friday on a Tuesday. Oh, she said your hair is shimmering. It's beautiful.
Thank you.
I don't know why it's blurring in and out like that.
Know.
We're sorry, guys.
I look so pale.
You're okay. No, you look good. But we'll give them a chance to get here, and we'll get started. Well, yeah, I'm playing with it a little bit. Is that a little better or is that bad? What's it look like on there? I'm just going to leave it at 42 there, and we're going to be okay. Let's see what everybody... Let's talk to some people out in the chat for a second, and then we'll get going. If I can... Golly. Yeah, no, we're not going to cause any more drama. We don't do that drama thing over here. So we appreciate you guys that come over here. Our mods. Hopefully I got some mods in here tonight.
Music City Mom is here.
Yeah, Music City Mom's here. Do I have any other mods?
She's the only one I see so far.
Oh, well, we'll give them a chance to get here. I will actually text Natasha real quick. Make sure that she knows we are live.
Thank you, Music City Mom.
Hey, we're live. Do you want to come over and help me mod? Let's see. Listening while cooking. Yeah, we're kind of new to this earlier kind of thing. We've tried to do it sometimes early in the day, but it's just whenever we get time, guys, and it's not any set schedule. Okay, there's GonZo. He said I'm pulling over to chat with y'all a minute. And we'll let Naomi get in here. Let's see here. Hey, Victoria Windsor. So, again, actually, you know what? This is what I'll do real quick. We'll go over the Cadaver scent project while we're waiting for everybody. And I think that will be good. Okay, so if you guys can see this, I'm going to go over it just a little bit. All right, it says the research project was initiated on January of 1997. She said, yep, on my way. As a response to a frequently asked question by agencies that use our services, we are asked to do the dogs define death. At what point during the decomposition process of a human body will the dogs demonstrate that they recognize the scent as post-mortem. So hold on, let me. Okay, here's Naomi from Seeds of Hope. We'll add her in. Hey, Naomi, how are you doing?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Doing real well. Let's see if we can stop a little bit of feedback there. I'm going over.
I had my mic on my phone. I like to read the comments if I can.
So, right, you're good. Yeah. I was just now pulling up. I just was going over this the Cadaver scent project, and I we'll talk about that real quick. I forgot that I even had that, and we were supposed to go over it the other night and didn't. So while we're waiting for Gonzo, I'll continue to read that one real quick, and then we'll get started.
Yeah, I'm interested in reading it. I haven't read this particular deal here.
Yeah, it's good. Let's see here. It says, all right, I'll read this last part of it. It says, during the decomposition process of a human body, will the dogs demonstrate that they recognize the scent as post-mortem? We set up this research project to begin to understand when and how our dogs can discriminate live scent from post-mortem scent. All the dogs used in this project have been cross-trained. That is trained in both the discipline of finding and indicating on live human scent and also on post-mortem cadaver scent. The general medical definition of death, the irreversible cessation of respiratory and heart activity. Let's see here.
My understanding is the decomp scent that the dogs pick up starts pretty much immediately.
Right. And I think on down here, it'll say that I think that like the most accurate is into 20 minutes in. I haven't got to read. I'm learning all this.
Yeah. Okay.
It says that it describes the exact moment a human being becomes a dead body. Physiologic changes begin immediately. And when within the first 2 hours after death, onset of lividity, chemical changes in the blood, relaxation of muscle tissue, and other changes have been documented. In fact, in some cases, lividity can be seen as soon as 15 minutes post-mortem. Okay, so 15 minutes. Between 2 to 4 hours after death, body temperature begins to drop. Hagelin and Sorg, 1997. Chemical changes in muscles begin and autolysis advances. Is that how you say it? Autolysis? Okay. We want to begin to learn, understand, and document the minimum postmortem time interval for which our dogs can perceive the difference between live and dead scent. Our window into the vivid realm of canine olfaction is obviously the dog's body language and more precisely the alert sequence. The dog uses the alert to intentionally communicate to us. I have found a smell that you want. We want to know the minimal interval at which our dogs can classify a scent as dead and opposed to live. And when the classification is distinct enough that the dog is moved to perform the trained alert. Okay. Postmortem interval for which trained canine differentiates, sorry guys, live human scent versus decomp scent. Okay, this is the part we all want to hear right here.
Yeah.
All postmortem scent samples consist of sterile gauze pads, sealed until just prior to use, placed on abdominal areas of descendant for exactly 20 minutes. Gauze pads are then placed in unused plastic bags and double sealed with packing tape. All postmortem scent samples are handled with latex gloves. At no time do these samples come in skin contact with live human scent. All live human samples are placed on the abdominal area of living person for exactly 20 minutes. Okay, that's where I got the 20-minute thing. We're almost done here, guys. It's just a little bit more. Let me kind of try to find where it's talking about the exact time. Okay, trials began January 1997. Numbers of dogs used, 5 different dogs. Postmortem interval range from 70 minutes to 3 days. Number of trials completed as of July 9th. Total of 52 trials completed. Preliminary results. The shortest post-mortem interval for which we received a correct response was 1 hour and 25 minutes. However, the post-mortem interval for which we received a consistently correct response from all dogs involved is 2.5 to 3 hours. So
Interesting.
yeah, they can pick up.
Wow.
Okay, then on down here, let me see what this says. It's important to note that dogs are not being asked to do as well as what they are being asked to do. They're not choosing from a lineup of actual human tissues, but only from gauze pads from which great care has been taken to expose them to only dry skin regions, not any blood or perceivable body fluids. Also note that the exposure time is exactly 20 minutes. So I guess what we're getting at here is that, and this is 1997 now. This is when this study was done. I looked and I tried to find some new studies, and I couldn't really find any, and I'm going to try to look more. But so they're saying even back then, within 2 hours. So so what are we? Go ahead.
I do know of someone who trains search and rescue dogs currently, who might be willing to chat.
That would be great, because
I'll see if I can touch base with her. I got to find her number again. It's been a while since I contacted her, but that's interesting though. So I don't know, you guys know what I've done with the Suzanne Morphew case, but I've been following that for, since May of 2020. Right. One of the things that came out in that arrest affidavit is that the cadaver dogs, specifically the cadaver dogs, picked up decomp on like the back of the trailer and the bobcat that Barry used. Right. So this is particularly interesting to me on multiple different levels. But so my question is, with Summer, my understanding is those were tracking hounds, which would be live scent, right?
Well, they brought in tracking hounds and they brought in cadaver dogs.
So which of the dogs are the ones that picked up her scent?
The scent were the live tracking dogs.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's... Is it echoey in here? I feel like it's super echoey.
No, you're good. It sounds good.
Okay, cool.
So
yeah, no, that's cool. It's a great
Go ahead if whatever you want to talk about, we'll bring it up, or I can bring up a topic. I guess since we're talking about this right now, we can talk about how the scents were on the footprints, all that.
Yeah, let's talk about that. Like, let's dive into that.
Big deal. This is a big deal, and I'm looking into. So we know that law enforcement was there. They told the property owner he wouldn't. He even stated in what we showed that he said. The deputy said, if I'm going to talk about it, that I need to be very precise about what happened.
Yeah, right.
His comments. So he's talking about, he's saying, the deputies told us when the scent hit the track, or when the dog hit the tracks, he said it had to been since she had been missing, since she had disappeared. So they were fresh.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that I know that everything was handled and casted, taken out, everything like that. I'm
sure it was
almost 100%.
But when it came to actually searching the properties in that direction and further, they pretty much just asked everybody to do their own search.
Well, okay.
Is that correct, or am I off base on that?
This was a few days. Okay, after a few days in, they were telling, so the search and rescue teams that came in searched them within a 5-mile radius. So all the way around. They went 5 miles all the way around through their search. That's on private.
Okay, but for me, like I get a little specific sometimes, right? So their search, was that just running the dogs around and looky-loo, or was that like searching the properties, the barns, the crevices, the houses, the basements, the crawl spaces, the attics, like, what I mean?
And I get what you're saying, because they did tell property owners to search your own properties, check your outbuildings. Here's Gonzo right there. Let me add him in. Hey, buddy.
What's going on, guys?
Not much, man. You've had quite eventful day, I've heard.
Oh, man, it's awesome. Just the Wild West out here.
right? So we're
Beautiful.
talking. I'll fill you in, Kat. Did you hear what we were talking about?
Yeah, I was paying attention. Yep.
Okay, so yeah, we're talking about how they did tell property owners to go search their
Their own
outbuildings,
properties.
their own properties and stuff. And I'm thinking maybe that's outside of the 5 mile radius because they had 110 search groups or agencies. They didn't define who they were. 110 agencies came in. It was within a 5 mile radius around. So I don't know if they're speaking as far. They didn't clarify if they're talking about outside of that 5 mile radius
Or all people.
or all people. I don't know if they just searched. I mean, all that land around there is private property, even the mountaintops, everything.
Yep.
Somebody just asked me to adjust my mic. Somebody just asked me to adjust my mic volume, and I honestly have no clue to do that right now. So I'm just looking.
I think we got echo coming in from. It might be from GonZo.
Let me jump out and come back in.
Okay.
Cool.
All right. Yeah, we'll let him go out and come back in, and we'll try to fix it. Maybe.
I'm the room I'm in. It's not like.
No, you're okay. You're okay. It's not you, and don't worry.
We'll try and talk a little quieter.
Well, maybe we can even when each of us are talking, I can mute each other, and then when y'all start, just unmute yourself and go in that way.
All right.
Okay, so there is a list of dog teams that came in to search. Yeah, exactly, there is. And we are, so there is that list, but out of the 110 agencies, I don't know if they listed all 110. I haven't seen that yet, and I've been trying to keep really close eye on that. But let's see, search plus, in case she was wondering, ask property owners to repeatedly search as well. Exactly. And they wanted them after their search to continue to search their own properties, even on the, I don't know what Sheriff Lawson's going to say tonight on News Nation. I think that he did speak to Brian Ensign, so there's going to be a new report that comes out from him. But they're also, as of the very last one, he was still telling people to search their fields for clothing. Mm-hmm. Pretty much, I guess, looking for the gray sweatsuit. And so we have that. That's pretty much what we got going right now. It says until what he says tonight. We got what TBI put out on the TBI newsroom. They stated that they did have divers come in and search. I guess that's within that whatever water they felt necessary to search in those areas.
But to be okay on that. That's not all the water in the area.
No.
Right?
No.
So for me, that's not due diligence when somebody like AWP is willing to come in. And honestly, that's a little offensive to me personally. Like if you've got somebody with that kind of track record willing to come in and search water, you shouldn't be telling them no. Right? You should be accepting that help for what it is. And if they want to come in and waste their time, then they can come in and waste their time. But unless you found Summer or you know exactly where she's at, I don't think you can say where she's not.
Exactly.
I just don't.
Exactly. That's kind of.
I think it would be safe to say she's not on the Wells property. She's not in their basement. You know what I mean?
Right.
But aside from that, I don't think there's anywhere that anyone can say that she's not.
Right.
And I think that that's highly irresponsible, in my opinion.
Yeah, it is. And to say that now, so Nita Diver did come in. I want to answer this one real quick. They said, did they search the pond? But I went on Doug No Thanks, and I tried to clarify some things about the footprints and search. Now, if Jody Sue was there when all this happened, when the search, I'm guaranteeing you that she let law enforcement go up on her property, and that means probably did dive in her pond back there, because that's right there in the
5 mile
in the 5 mile radius. Now,
we don't know for a fact.
We don't know for a fact, but I would almost guarantee that. And it might not be. Well, I shouldn't say I would almost guarantee. I would say that if it's that close to her property, then it was probably dove on. But I know Nita Diver has come in, and they have went to multiple private properties in the area. We actually got them into some areas that we had searched on, and they went in and dove and found more ponds
There's Jason.
that we didn't even know about. Jason's in here right now.
Yeah.
Jason, okay, let's see.
Is that what part of the Need a Diver team?
Yes.
Yeah, do you want to come up, Jason?
If they come up, yeah, for sure.
Would you like to come up so you can answer for yourself? Let me put the link here in the chat for him.
So I saw somebody say that AWP specializes in finding cars, and I'm going to say that's true, but they have a extremely high success rate in recovering bodies.
Right.
And you know, you don't turn away that kind of help, in my opinion. You just don't. If you're actually serious about looking for someone, you just don't turn it away. Jared and his team have an incredible amount of skills and cojones that just are unmatched.
Well,
right?
you can talk about, I mean, you know this too, and Gonzo too, know that Need a Diver has went into places that that law enforcement has cleared.
Right. Right. Well, I don't actually know any. I'd like to know a lot more about Need a Diver. On your guys'
I'm sorry, I meant AWP.
Sorry. No, AWP definitely has. They've went into places that law enforcement cannot go to, has refused to go to, and has previously cleared, and they have a very high success rate in doing so. Right. So, you know, it's not the type of help I would ever turn away for any reason, period.
Here's all these people.
Gonzo's back. Hi, Gonzo.
Yo, can you guys hear me all right?
Yeah, man, you sound good. Everything's good. Tasha, thank you for coming over here. Cool. And modding for us. I was looking for you. She's our main mod manager. She does a lot for this channel, and we appreciate her a lot. So we're gonna I think Jason's gonna come up too with Need a Diver. This will be a good show.
See if he does.
Cool.
He said he had to switch to his phone to get to the link. So Jason, when you come back over here, if you need me to drop the link again, there he is, right there.
So windswept, I'm in an echoey room. I am away from my computer as far as I can get it. I honestly don't know what else to tell you. I'm sorry you're offended, but
link again. There he is.
So windswept, I'm in an echoey room. I am away from my computer.
There it goes. See, I fixed it right there. I had to mute him. Jason, if you can turn off whatever you have playing like that, because it lags a little bit in the back, and I'll unmute you.
I always have that trouble on the road here. That's usually why we gotta fix it while I'm cruising. So,
like, I'm not high tech at all. I'm sitting in a room on a laptop. Like, it is what it is. I ain't soundproof. I ain't high tech.
It's headquarters, right?
It's headquarters. Yeah. I'm a working girl. This is my day off. Like, it is what it is.
Oh, Music City Mom, you're a main mod too. I'm sorry, I wasn't trying to. I wasn't.
Music City Mom always got our back. She's
always. Awesome. Hey, Jason, can you hear us, man? Oh, it's really low. You might have to turn your volume. Let me see if I can adjust your volume. And then maybe you can. Okay, edit mics.
Hey, if you can adjust his volume, adjust mine.
Yeah, I will.
It won't let us.
It says automatic adjust. Let me see. There we go.
Oh, there we go. Okay. So turn him up and turn
Jason,
her down.
can you talk now? I can. It's still doing it. Let me figure it out this way. Let's do it this way. If you have an email, I can send you the link to your email real quick, and you can get on from your computer. Yeah, I can't hear him whatsoever. Let's see here.
I bet he can hear you though.
Yeah, he can hear me, buddy. So listen, just send me an email with your email on cracking cases. I'll put it here on the bottom, and we'll get started, guys. I'm sorry about this. This was put together at the last moment. So let's see. There's a private chat right there. There he is. He said, "Yeah,
Okay.
yes, let him log back in." Okay, I'm gonna kick.
Give me 2 seconds. I'll be right back.
All right, you're fine.
And we'll do this.
I'm gonna edit her mic settings real quick and then echo cancellation.
We'll do that.
All right,
And then we'll know when she gets back.
there we go. We'll figure all that out when she gets back in here. All right, guys. So we'll give him a chance to get back over here. Thank you all for being in here. There's 471 people in here. That's awesome. Yeah, technical difficulties happen. Gonzo, you want to talk a little bit about what you got going on, man?
Oh man, a whole lot. Today's been a wild day. I've been out on the highway most of the day. I went down to Colorado to do some work. We got another missing guy in Longmont, Colorado, Alli. There's a couple different pages open for him on Facebook if you guys want to, if anybody in the Colorado area is interested. Saza went missing, let's say a couple months ago, well, maybe 2 months ago. His birthday was yesterday, and he was on a bike ride in Longmont, Colorado, and then boom. I don't know what it is with people going on bike rides and then going missing, but it's another one. So, but yeah, a lot of locals out here are really worried about him, and he needs some answers. So I kind of went down there to do some things to help out, as well as work a little bit on the Morphew case. Other than that, I've been battling 60, 75 mile an hour winds. I think I was jumping into flipped over semi trucks and pulling drivers out. I got a couple of them pulled out today. It's just wild. We call them sleeping semis out here because they literally just put themselves to bed. They just fall right over on the side of the road, and a lot of them are moving. So they got no light load travel advisories out, but it doesn't stop them. They still want to get the material to people's places, and it happens. But yeah, we just got to make sure to keep them safe, right?
Right.
Yeah, for sure. I fixed your volume, Naomi.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Is it better now? Windswept, whatever. Sorry, I don't remember your full name.
I think it's better.
Yeah, I think it's a little better too.
So for those of you who don't know, like Gonzo isn't just some adrenaline junkie, crazy dude. He's actually like a legitimate, real cool person who's willing to help people out at any time. So
Thank you.
He is, for real. And guys, that's what he was down here before any of us was up at the wells. He was down here checking things out and trying to assess the situation.
It took him a little while to get out there after I got a hold of Don and got permission.
Yeah, actually,
it's hard for him to get all that way out there. He's always busy in the Colorado, Utah area. So
yeah, that was that was a really good team effort to get out there. Naomi really set that up. She laid the groundwork, got me in touch with the Wells family, and got me some access. And that, just like how it works.
Your own merits keep you there, though, and get you what you need to get. So
yeah, we just get the right people and the right, we align ourselves with people that want to push forward on these cases.
Right. That's right.
And just like Cam and Alli, that's what brought me to those guys is right when they first came out. And I'm like, man, these guys their heart's in it. They're true. They're real. They are who they say they are, and they really give a damn. So let's just join up and see what we can do. And we've all been working.
People doing the right things for the right reasons is what I'm here for sure. And,
absolutely.
There's a reason I've been talking to Gonzo and working with him for so long, and that's because I 100% believe that Gonzo is that man. And I'm really glad he teamed up with you guys, and I get to know you guys now. So
we're working on we're working on when he gets down here. We got some big plans. Like
good.
I I hope
Good.
that things come to light before that, before we even get a chance for you to come
Right.
down here. But you know, if it still is, well, then we're gonna go at it hard, and we're gonna figure out some stuff. Like that's the best we can do. And we're not saying we're perfect. We're not saying we're gonna solve everything, but we're gonna at least put an effort forward and
Do what we can.
do what we can.
Yeah.
You know,
Hey,
because
that's
go ahead.
all anybody can do, right? And if as
Exactly.
long as you're doing it with your heart and for the right reasons, honestly, that's all that matters, right? Just keep pushing forward and keep trying to do what we can do to bring these people home. Like,
Absolutely.
There's needed. Can you hear us, Jason?
Yeah, I can. Can you hear me?
Okay,
Awesome.
that's
Yeah, that
perfect.
worked out good, man. I'm glad we did it that way.
Yeah,
How you
I
been
have
doing,
no idea
man?
about this technological things. It's kind of beyond me.
We had the technical difficulties too, as you saw. But man, thank you for coming up. And I was going to let you. It's better to let you all speak for yourself than me speak for you. I just wanted, people were talking about this pond up behind Jody Sue's property, and from what I know of, there is okay. So I don't know if it's on her property or on the adjacent property behind it. It's right across the road. The property, okay, so right across from the Wells property is Jackie Dobbs' property. Then the next one up is Jody Sue Brown's property. And then behind that, I think, is the pond they're talking about. Have y'all been up there? Or?
I'm actually right here on the map right now. Let me take a look at it and see if that's an area that we've been to just yet.
Okay.
It's kind of hard to tell.
Oh, thank you, everybody that's saying that hi on Lullaby. I said, please, no, y'all are appreciated, a rare bunch. We are, and but that's what it takes. It's not about. It's just about your proactiveness and what you do to get out there and do something. We can do this in
it
anywhere.
ain't about how many subs and clicks you get and how many super chats you get.
Right.
It ain't about none of that. It's about who's putting
Right.
the real work in for the real reasons and doing the right stuff.
Well, this is just a small example how we can all come together from remote regions to really work together in a true crowdsourcing environment here, where we can put our best strengths forward. We got Nita Diver here, we got Naomi here that's strong with checking into lineage and doing profiling and genetic research, and then we got you guys close locally, boots on the ground, that are able to stomp some real ground. And then you got me that kind of travels around and does this all over the place. So I this is just an example of how things can come together for the right reasons, and we're all in it, and we're here for the common goal, right?
And
Right.
I think what's important to understand is, like, look, you're seeing a small part of it. You're not seeing the full scope of it, right?
Yep.
And that's important to keep in mind, because none of us, I don't know about Nita Diver, but I mean, I'm going to step out and say probably, because I've never heard of this guy and his team before your guys' show.
Yeah.
When you're focused on doing the right things for the right reasons, and that's your primary goal, you're not out there just throwing a live stream out and, kicking it to get super chats all the time and throwing information out and wild accusations. You're putting work in, and you're not releasing a whole lot really in the story, right? Because if you do, you're destroying the validity of these things and the process of the case, right? And that's not what we're about at all, ever, right? We want to bring these people home. We want to bring families closure and justice, and we want to make sure that that's done the right way. And so what you get, it may not be everything you want to hear or every little tidbit of information, but you got to know that there's a reason why we're all sitting back and holding it.
Exactly.
Right. And I wanted to answer this. No, Jody Sue's property is on the opposite side of Ben Hill Road. It's across the road. And just to clear that, I'm trying to answer everybody as we go. And I didn't want to cut you off, but hey, Chasing, thank you for joining. This is what Jason. Do you want to kind of give them your background a little bit and what you've done? And
Sure, absolutely. So I have been a diver since 2008, and we are well known here in the northeastern Tennessee part, mainly on Norris Lake. We dive, me and my partner Caleb, in very little visibility, sometimes zero visibility, diving in complete darkness to find anything from rings to watches to cell phones, anything that may have been dropped in the water. We locate that. We're equipped with numerous different items, technological sonar, underwater ROV that has sonar on it, video, audio, or a video, photo, and so basically just the whole package. But typically we are hired to go out and retrieve items that have been dropped in the lake. Again, the smallest of items and in the worst conditions. So we just wanted to reach out and try to locate Summer. And as the lady stated, it's and you don't see me or the Need a Diver on YouTube anywhere because it's not about us. It's about Summer.
I love it. Yeah, it's great.
That's what it's about, man. It's not about what like I said, like if everybody caught our news thing, that's like, regardless of what they wanted to ask, it's not about what we do, what anybody else does. It's about that little girl. I don't care how many, I don't care about the entertainment side of it. I don't care about the big shows or anything. I want this little girl to come home. That's what I care about. It's not, I mean, if it ended tomorrow, that's great. That's the best thing that could happen for this case. And just to bring answers for her, regardless of what, it's all in our mind, the worst case scenario of what could have happened. Everybody thinks that way. We hope we bring her home safe and sound. We really do.
Exactly.
That would be great to find those answers. That's why it's good that Trace Labs came in, that maybe that they came in and they're doing their research that way. We're looking at it from both sides of the fence. On the worst side, you got Need a Diver coming in. You've got that's not even ground searches going with the private investigators. They're constantly out there doing that. We're trying to join in and do, because I mean, they can only be one place at a time, just like we can only be one place at a time. We can spread out. With GonZo coming down here, we're gonna have, and let me add this too. We everything we do, we get permission first from the property owners, because if they don't want it done on public property, you have to go ask permission from the property owner. And when they give you permission, they gave us permission. We helped get Need a Diver in on the water we seen on a private property down there. They went and cleared that place out, and you guys actually found another pond by doing that.
Yes, that's correct. And it's a very good possibility. That's the pond that was at question. If we have,
I think it is,
and that's what I'm looking at on the map. That one we have not searched yet, for no particular reason, and I don't really know why. But when I first found out that Summer still had not been found, that pond, I've been eyeballing it.
He has from the beginning. He's been played.
I hope there's there, but I have, and I've told everybody else that my eyes have been on that pond. We have been. We don't disclose when we're going to be in the area, or most of the time, well, we haven't disclosed where we have been, but we have been up there 4 times now, and I will say that the pond. I'm sorry,
GonZo. GonZo, was that you, buddy?
Yeah, I was asking if we lost him.
No, can you not hear him?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you good.
I can hear you now.
Okay.
Did you get my? Did you get what I asked you, Jason, in the private chat right there?
Okay, got you. I think
Yeah.
yeah.
So just real quick, if your eyes have been on that, Jason, you should get up there.
Oh, absolutely. It
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
It's certainly in my plans. Again, the areas that we have searched, we don't disclose, and we don't disclose where our searches are
Yeah.
the next time.
Yeah.
But I will say that I've seen that. I mean, that pond is just very obvious. Looking on Google Earth, it's right there in the area. My problem was getting the landowner, locating the landowner, which there's a nearby. And when I attempted to, the person was not home. But that pond will be searched. I'll say that much.
Perfect.
Well, it's good. I mean, if it eats at you and it's drawing you in and it keeps drawing you back and you're unsettled, that's a good thing, right? We want
gotta at least
we want to check all these boxes if we can, and it's just good that it is on the agenda, right? So
yes, it is on the agenda. We have the other areas. We have been looking. How do I say it? So, some areas of high interest, but nothing has come of it just yet.
Yeah.
Right.
No, I know the lady. Now, forgive me. I've got my phone turned upside down where you can hear me, so I don't get to see her name. She was asking kind of what about us versus AWP, and yeah, they search with sonar. A vehicle underwater is so much easier to locate and see than a body.
Yeah.
So
because it's going to bounce off that big object.
Yeah.
Sonar, that's how that works, right?
And they can actually go down and pull a license plate number. They can get specifics. They can get the make and model of a vehicle. There's so much, and they got a bigger, got a bigger chunk to look at. You guys are looking for these small, minute, rings, watches, weapons, whatever it might be. I mean, you guys are looking for a pebble in a rock pile or a needle in a haystack underwater in shitty visible situations. Definitely. I mean, you got your work cut out for you, but you're here, and that's what's important.
It sounds like instead of just relying on skimming over the water, with the sonar or whatever, you guys are going down there and looking and feeling for stuff, right? So,
yes, ma'am. Absolutely. Yeah.
That's really cool, right? That's actually refreshing for me.
Hey, Jason, I got a quick question for you.
Sure.
I think I meant to ask you last time, and I think I talked to Cam about it. So at Warriors Park, where myself and Cam were in the water quite a ways out, but once you get towards the bridge that you have to drive over to get to that swimming hole, there's kind of a weird water flow that goes underneath that bridge. And I dove down in there, did some snorkeling around, but I mean, there was some flow at the time. Have you guys been in that area? I think you guys said you had.
We have been in the area. It is known that we were at they call it the horse pond, I guess it's called. It's really just the portion of that lake. Everywhere is still up in the air. But one thing I noticed myself is there at the horse pond, the current is pushing inward to that bank. So unless something happened at the bridge, if a drowning victim was at the horse pond, I don't foresee the body going out into the main channel because of the current pushing in toward the bank.
That's what I needed somebody to tell me, because I didn't feel that way when I was there. So yeah, that's we're going with the flow.
Right. And I wanted to bring this up. Jason, do you feel comfortable with sharing what you did before? Or not?
I'm not sure what you mean.
What you did for a career before you started doing Need a Diver.
Okay. I'll just speak of it all. Currently, I am a funeral director, so I have some. I've done that for nearly 20 years. know that stuff inside out. So that side of bodies. And then prior to the funeral industry, I was in law enforcement.
You see?
And so I've done a lot of investigations and that sort of thing before the funeral career.
Right. And he's been, and I wanted to add this, he's been very helpful with things that we've come across on searches. I've sent stuff to him and let him look it over. And he's been very helpful with that. So he has, you know, he
brings a lot.
he
to the
brings a
table.
lot to the table. Amen. That's true. And I feel very fortunate, man. I'm very happy that you chose our platform to come and talk to us and be a part of this. We try to do everything professionally.
Cool.
GonZo tries
Yeah.
to do everything professionally. Man, we cannot wait till he gets down here because, like, he'll climb a mountain. He'll rock climb the mountain. To get to where he wants.
Superman.
Superman right there.
It's the best platform that I've come across, and
Thank you.
it's
Here. Real.
the no
Yeah.
crap platform. It's facts. It's not rumors and all that. And you all have just been awesome help to
Absolutely.
me and getting me assistance where I need it. And I think it's all come together.
Thank you, man. We appreciate that. And we're going to get into some more stuff here. And I think that your point of view would be really good in this. And we were going to talk a little bit about what Sheriff Lawson said on his last statement and see what you kind of thought, what everybody thought here on this panel. Oh man, lost
Oh,
GonZo.
it's Lost Gonzo.
He'll come back. He'll come back. I wanted to get your point of view. So, so the last thing we hear from Sheriff Lawson, and I brought this up on I've actually got it in my community section if I have to pull it up, but he said, at this point in time, we have no evidence of abduction, and he says we have no evidence of foul play. From you being in law enforcement before, what's your take on what he's trying to say? I mean, because if we talk about it, then people say, what does that leave? And then it would leave accident. Well, if it was accident accident or wandering off. So if you leave it at accident, then you say, well, if it was an accident, then anybody that messes with a body after the fact, that would be foul play, right?
Yes, absolutely. So the statement was no foul play and no abduction.
Yeah, I'll pull up his statement right here. Give me just a second.
Yeah, I believe that's exactly what it said.
Yeah, it was. And so, yeah, I mean, I can pull it if we have to. If not, I won't. But what do you feel?
That's pretty well.
Pretty well stated, right?
Yeah, there's not much else around it, really, to elaborate on.
And so we have the footprints, which you're familiar with. You've seen. We have the property owner that comes out, talks about it. He says, then 3/4 a mile, we have a neighbor. This property that the first property that the man that spoke out about finding the footprints on it is very close to the Wells property. So we're talking about down on, I think, on towards Beach Creek side of things is where his address was. So going that way. And then they said that, so on his property where the footprint was found was over behind a ridge where they couldn't see. He said we wouldn't have saw anybody walk that way or her walk that way, whatever the case may be. Then 3/4 of a mile away, they find another one. And I think it
was on a ridge as well.
It's on a ridge as well, going up into the woods. Yeah, guys, if in the chat, I'm going to stop it right now. If anybody's bashing or anything, mods, get them out immediately. We're not going to play that. Be respectful, and we'll have a conversation. That's the best we can do. We're going to try to play it how we always do over here. We can talk. We can have difference of opinion, but just no bashing and being hateful.
There's no reason for none of that.
No. That's why, if we can't come together as adults and speak like adults, then we shouldn't be doing anything.
Then it's not a discussion and it's not productive. So
that's right.
No reason for it. So
absolutely.
I did see somebody ask what Seeds of Hope is. And so I'd kind of like to do a little bit of explaining on that. So I started a LLC basically to cover my butt and some of the stuff that I do.
Right.
And I named it Seeds of Hope. But so what I do is I have kind of deemed myself an advocate for the missing and for their families, right? Which is why I reached out to Dawn and just to try and touch base with him to see what I can do to help, if anything. I dedicate pretty much all of my free time to researching and searching and doing what I can to help find people. I'm not like some big corporation. I'm just a girl. I just do my thing.
Right.
I'm pretty busy. I have a lot of stuff going on in my life, and this is what I'm passionate about for many reasons. And maybe someday I'll get into some of those reasons, but it's just what I do. I like helping. So
that's how all of us.
And beyond this, beyond, helping to look for missing people or whatever, I literally just spread love and hope and plant those seeds wherever I can, which is why I named it Seeds of Hope. So
Right. And you've been involved in this since the beginning too, right? You've been
100%. Yeah.
Right.
100%. So
and been very helpful with helping Gonzo to get what he needs to get done.
This is the second live I've ever done. So I'm not like throwing myself out there and putting myself in the public a lot, but trust me, I am deep in quite a few of these cases. So,
well, that's two of us. This is only my second one as well.
Very cool. Very cool. I dig it. I'm glad to meet you.
For coming here with us then.
Yeah, thank you so much for being here. So, to keep it back, I'm sorry I broke up the panel, the discussion there to talk about that over in the chat. I'm not paying attention to it. I just saw what people were saying. So back to the footprints, Jason, and you too, Naomi. Let's talk about what y'all feel with that. I mean, this guy from the get-go, he came out, started to give people viable information, and
still to this day, like, people think it's information people have never heard in this case. And to me, that is insane, because it's one of the most crucial pieces of this case, right? We have her footprints, we have her scent verified by law enforcement, and it's irrelevant in the public. And to me, that's just nuts. It's really important. It's really crucial, and it should be followed, and it should be known, and it should be one of the most important things out there.
Exactly.
That, there is evidence of her being carried away, right?
Right.
There is evidence, and that's not just circumstantial. That's her footprints and her scent.
Right.
That's very, very, very important.
And what we know about it is, just like he explained, there was no scent trail to follow it from the footprints to the next set.
Right.
It was just like she was there, sat down, picked back up, but then there's no other footprints around it. And I don't
Which is why I didn't say she wandered off. She was carried away.
Right. Something has to be more to that. And I don't, if we have one I don't know if there's two footprints there. I'm going by what the man says. So he said a footprint. I don't know if he means a set. Her one, I mean, I don't see that she's standing on one foot there. I mean, there probably is two of them there.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to find out for sure. But every time I've seen anything that he said a footprint, right?
Yeah.
So,
right. So I need to make. I actually had something I gave a little bit early to members only, and I'm going to put that in the comment section after this for everybody. I have another statement that he made that I found, and I will put that out for everybody to read that one. But he tried multiple times. That's the point of it. He even went into detail, like I said, and said the deputy said, if I'm going to say it, be precise about it. They didn't tell him to keep his mouth shut. They said just be 100% and let
Yeah,
it be
just
clear.
yeah.
Right.
Jason, what do you make of that?
Well, I agree that it needs to be completely transparent. My only question, I'm not wanting to make any assumptions or anything like that,
Right.
but if a footprint was found and someone carried her, if you carried a child and set the child down, you're standing right beside that child.
Right. That's
Right.
the thing. Yeah.
Okay, so
Right.
the law enforcement, basically, just bluntly speaking, should have pulled in a team to search a radius of that print for the suspect's prints. They're there somewhere.
He went out and he did say they came in that night and it was very active around. I'll pull up what I posted in the community section right now and I'll show it. This is what he said later on. Let me find that real quick.
While you're finding that, and just to let the lady know and everyone's in here, I come in on a completely neutral basis, and that's why I don't know a lot of these stories. I come in, look for the water areas, I check those in a neutral way. So all these stories and what the sheriff has said or not said, I don't know. But I had heard about the footprint from Cam and Alli, and was always curious as to why the suspect's footprint was never found.
Right.
Right.
And this is what and when I show this right here, y'all will see what I'm talking about. Okay, where is it?
I just saw somebody say you put 1 foot down when you're riding a bike, and that's true, but I'm not sure you'd be riding a bike through that terrain.
Right,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
and yeah,
no.
no, this is
I doubt that.
okay. So let me share this right here. I got it up. Let me see. Oh no, wrong thing. Gosh, I'm still getting used to this, guys. I'm sorry. Okay, so this is it right here, I think. All right, I'm going to share this with you guys. Okay, here it is. So it says, this is from him speaking to somebody that's questioning him. He says, last time I checked, I'm pretty sure I know where I live. I was in my yard when the search crews was on my property. I heard the dogs bark to identify a scent. A few minutes later, 2 deputies pulled in my driveway on a gator and told me they had found a child's barefoot footprint. And the dogs identified summer scent on it. They asked what size shoe my kids wore and if my kids had been in the woods barefoot in the last couple of days. After that, they found another footprint farther up on the ridge in my other neighbor's woods. So at some point, she walked away from her house, through my yard, into my neighbor's yard, and in the woods behind their house. They brought out a massive search crew and searched all of my vehicles, buildings, and my entire property and flew the helicopter over us for several hours straight. Never found anything else that we know of.
So, but that's cool though, because they brought out a massive search crew, searched all of my vehicles, buildings, and my entire property, flew a helicopter over for hours straight, right? That's awesome. So we can assume that they did that on the next property too, right?
Yeah.
Right.
That's good.
But the thing is that I did not hear mentioned in that is that they searched for additional footprints.
Right.
Right.
They searched vehicles. They found 1 footprint, maybe not thinking for whatever reason about an additional set of footprints to be looking for.
Yeah.
So they probably there and contaminated the area
right.
with their own boots.
Right.
It sounds like they almost
That's a great point, right? That's
just me. I would have taken that off. Nobody out and on that area inside out, upside down for an additional set of prints. But maybe at that time, that I don't know when that was, but maybe they didn't suspect an abduction. I don't know.
Well,
Yeah.
then you got to take into account they searched his vehicle, so they're going to immediately think, well, were you and they vetted him to make sure that he's not involved. They went through, checked for scents all over his stuff, and I guess by then clear. Hold on, I'm getting something here right here that might be good to this actually. Lawson says even there's no signs of abduction. They ain't rolling it out. Okay, so I got a new thing right here, and I'm going to pull this up. Thank you for
Lawson's
sending
new
this to me.
statement from tonight.
Yeah, well, this is okay. This is on WJHL. I'll read it real quick, and then I'll send it and to be able to pull it up for everybody. It says everything is on the table, and everything is being looked at. And you would think that if things like abduction or human trafficking, someone somewhere would have seen this little girl. Lawson said, as much media attention. This everything that was said before that they're saying that Lawson said that as much media attention, social media attention across America, one person would have seen that and made a call, but we're not ruling it out. So let me download that real quick, and I'll actually send that to my email, and we'll pull that up real quick and let y'all read this.
Gonzo's back.
Yeah. Hey, buddy. You got better service there.
Young, I hope
That you have no idea how many times I've been talking to Gonzo, and like all of a sudden we're like in mid conversation and just gone. Poof. A couple hours later, maybe the next day, who knows? He'll come back.
it's called Real Gone GonZo for a reason, right?
Yes, you can.
You're good.
Really gone most of the time.
At least we all know you always come back, Gonzo. It's cool.
That's right.
I try. No, I like
All
what
right,
you guys
so-
were covering right there.
Yeah, good stuff. Weigh in on that, man. Right while I'm pulling this up.
Hey, I'll be right back.
Okay.
Yeah, we kind of talked offline about these footprints and some of the protocols, and yeah, Nita Diver is absolutely right. Like that should have been taped off, and there should have been nobody in or out. There should have been a lot of things, woulda, coulda, shoulda, right? Since those days are dead and gone, and we can't get that time back, we just have to go with what we do know is factual, and that's all we have at this point.
Exactly.
But yeah, very important. Procuring the scene is number. And I honestly just don't believe that the county deals with enough of these kind of cases. You can tell that they weren't really equipped for a case of this magnitude, and it shows.
Right.
Absolutely.
That's what we know.
Absolutely. And this, okay, so I got this right
It
here.
is. That's
Go ahead. Go ahead, buddy.
No,
I'm sorry.
No, it's just in the past. We can't go much into what they coulda, woulda, shoulda done. We have to go with what we know and what we can, control at this point, and that is working with the facts. So yeah.
Right. So okay. So this, guys, if you can see it, if you need me to zoom in a little bit, I don't think I can. There it is. Yeah, there it is. Okay. It says community members believe she may have been abducted or trafficked. Everything is on the table and everything is being looked at. And you would think that if things like abduction or human trafficking, someone somewhere would have seen this little girl, Lawson said. As much media attention, social media attention across America, one person would have seen that and made a call. But we're not ruling it out. That right there, I mean, that's a big deal.
Look, that's a big deal, but here's the thing. What was that girl that was found after like 18 years? JC Dugard? Was that her name?
Yeah.
Nobody saw her until
Right. That's what I was gonna say. That's not always the case. People don't always see somebody if they've been abducted.
There's places to hide people. And
what about the little girl in Texas? Is this the same one that they found in the laundry basket, covered up by laundry? The jogger They even searched this place once before, and then they came back and she was covered up in a laundry basket under laundry. And
wow.
she said, "Can you please get my clothes off the bed?" I mean, there was so much. This guy had took her, and I think it something to do with a jogger. I'm not for sure about the story. Somebody left it in my comments earlier, and I read it.
This is a very good point. Somebody said, couldn't they be passing her off as a boy? They could be passing her off as a boy. They could also be putting wigs on her. So people might be looking for a little girl with short hair.
Could have dyed her hair, could have done a million things, right?
Exactly. So even if somebody did see her, they might not realize that it was her.
And look, if somebody abducted anybody, there's no reason to take them out into the public. Right.
Exactly.
You don't have to
They
do
may
that.
have somewhere that, and I mean, with her being a little girl, they could, if there could be multiple people there. Somebody could be watching her if somebody needed to go out and grab something from the store. Or something.
As much as I appreciate that statement, I'm going to say that's not broad enough a statement.
Right. But at least we do know that they're not ruling it out.
Yeah.
Yeah. And look, that's fine. Right. As long as we're all still looking, and as long as everybody's working every angle and looking at every possibility, that's all we can ask for, right?
Exactly.
So,
yeah, we don't know what.
I just hate to see things that potentially dissuade the public. So,
let's see here.
One thing, guys, that I'll add, I was just browsing a few days ago, getting some more areas in mind to search on my next time there. Law enforcement to kind of vouch for them, they certainly cannot tell a lot of the things that they're doing and a lot of things that they know.
Yeah.
Just for instance, I saw something. I'll say it was on the internet. I won't say where, but a person found what could be a clue or was thought to be a clue, give the information to law enforcement, turn right around and posted it on internet the very same day.
Right. Can't do that.
That's the very reason that they cannot release a lot of what they know.
Right.
Yeah.
So I understand that point.
A lot of that with this case, people saying, "Oh, I turned this into the TBI," and then they're on a live somewhere that very night.
Yeah, and that's irresponsible.
Exactly.
It's completely irresponsible. You need to let law enforcement do their job, right?
If you feel like it's important enough to turn into law enforcement, then let them do what they need to do to either verify it or roll it out.
If it's been 6 months and you haven't heard anything about it, look, nobody wants anybody to wait 6 months, but really you need to let law enforcement do their job and do their due diligence on it. And just because you're not seeing anything about that in the public doesn't mean it's not happening, right? Just because you see a statement made doesn't mean that that's all they think.
Yeah.
It's just all that they're releasing. That's all they're saying. And sometimes they're not going to say anything about it at all. So.
And that's why with anything that we talk about or that we have shared with you guys, we make sure that it is vetted.
Yeah.
And it's done. And
that's the way to do it, right?
And you have to do that.
That's the way to do it. That's the responsible thing to do. Look, we're not out here trying to get clicks and views. We're not out here trying to gain popularity. We're out here trying to help. And helping means doing the right thing. And sometimes that means not saying a word. So.
Yeah, and that's the thing too. The Amber Alert is still active.
Right.
It is still active. And the criteria that goes into that is abduction. There is so
it has to fit proper criteria in order to even qualify as an Amber Alert.
Right. That's guys, thank you so much for y'all being awesome. I'm watching the chat go by and there's 720 people in here. It's been really good. Thank you guys. Thank you to the mods. If anybody else got anything y'all want to talk about?
This is the second time I've seen Windswept ask me that. No, I'm not in Tennessee. I'm on the West Coast. I have been through Tennessee. I took like a 10,000 mile journey a couple months back. That was really cool. But no, I'm not. I'm from the West Coast.
Tim R. Yes, there is a motel in Churchill, Tennessee, and it's called the Roadway Inn. There might be more than
There's
that,
probably more than that.
but there used to be the Churchill Inn. If you're asking because of the Jackie Dobbs stuff, yeah, that's where he was staying. Was called the Roadway Inn now.
It was the Churchill Inn before it was closed down and reopened under the name the Roadway Inn.
And we don't know. Like we said, all suspects in this case are still on the table. Everybody,
and
they
I
haven't.
Believe if
Everyone's still on the table,
right?
That's
I'm
the bottom line.
pretty sure that one of the things that Sheriff Lawson talked to Brian Enton about today was that anybody that is involved in this case, they are still considered a suspect.
Yep.
And
that's the way. Nobody gets fully cleared until someone's found. Am I incorrect in that, Jason?
I'm sorry. Could you repeat that? I was reading the comments.
No one is fully cleared until someone's found, right?
Absolutely. And the conviction made.
Good.
Yes.
Thank you for saying that.
Absolutely.
The footprint, as far as from the hotel, the footprint was near the Wells property. The hotel is a ways away.
Yeah,
from the
this
property.
is the footprint is found on a neighboring property. One of them on the neighboring property, and then the next one 3/4 of a mile away. So almost a mile away was another one going up into the woods, with scent hit on that.
But the motel is actually in Churchill, Tennessee, which is, how far is it? It's a 20 or 30-minute drive from the Wells.
Yeah,
property.
I was going to say that's.
Yeah.
You come out of Ben Hill and you take a right, and Churchill is down that way, right?
Yeah, well, it's 22 minutes away from the Wells property.
And that's a drive.
That's a drive, and it's over a curvy, like you're saying, over curvy mountain, everything.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Changing lives, one times one. It says, do y'all know if Jackie Dobbs was asked to take a lie detector? And I have no idea.
No clue.
No clue.
I sure hope so.
Yeah,
Right,
yeah.
Right.
I sure hope so.
All we know is what Jackie Dobbs himself told us, and that was
public
that
information.
but that was that he was talked to from somebody from TBI, and he was questioned by 2 members of the FBI.
He said he met with 2 members of the FBI in person and questioned by TBI on the phone.
Yeah,
is what he. That's.
I sure hope he took a lie detector.
Yeah,
I do too.
And that just comes to me. Look, that's just me, right? Anytime anybody involves themselves in such a manner, I'm gonna take notice. That's it. I'm pretty much suspect of everybody at all times. It doesn't matter who you are. If you come off as creepy or weird to me, I'm paying attention.
Right.
So.
And Blondie, yes. So print 2 cent.
2 separate footprints, 2 separate properties.
2 times. Yeah, 2 separate.
On 2 separate properties.
Yeah,
yes,
2
separate. Almost a mile apart.
Yeah.
Right. And that's what everybody needs to understand. It's not just like these were footprints coming out of her house, like right there, or on the dog trail, or on the bus trail, or whatever. These were off of their property and 2 separate, completely different footprints, right? And that's important. I don't care who you are. I don't care what you think. I don't care who you think you are. That's very important. And if you're not following up on that, and you're not listening to that, and you're not paying attention to that, then you don't actually care about bringing Summer home, in my opinion, because these are very, very, very important keys and clues to this case. And if you're just focusing on, Dawn Wells' sketchy past, you don't care about bringing Summer home, because Dawn Wells' sketchy past doesn't have anything to do with Summer being missing, in my opinion. Right. I've met some sketchy people. I've dealt with some sketchy people, and in my opinion, Dawn Wells doesn't have anything to do with this, nor does his past. Right. Anyway, I just want to say that, because
well, I mean, and that's what we're saying. We can have we're here to have a discussion. We all have our opinions, and that's there's no evidence. Like we said, there is no evidence pointing to them. They were fully cooperated. Even let's
Not
talk.
a single search warrant.
Just because somebody has a sketchy past, just because somebody has a previous history, it doesn't mean that they've murdered their child or done anything nefarious to their child, right? Like, and we need to understand that doesn't, just because someone has made some really bad mistakes in their past doesn't mean that they're out hurting people now, right?
Carol Bush, these footprints came out at the very beginning.
They came out.
See, that's exactly what I'm talking about, because everything else was dramatized so much to the extent that these important things were just swept under the rug and totally missed. And that didn't do Summer any good whatsoever, right?
Right.
That's what I'm talking about right there.
And if you want to go back about the past, yes, we look at the past. We take it into account. Yeah, he had a past. There it is.
Always.
It's there. It's there. Okay.
Eyes open, but look at it. Right?
Yeah, we look at it. We look at that. But then we go to now and we see everything that's happened with this case. And let's talk about that. So, okay. Everybody keeps a mental note of that. There it is. He has a past. Okay. But right now, even Dr. Phil, and best believe before Dr. Phil, let's even take, even though it might be entertainment, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
He is, before he says information, he's going to know for a fact. He says you've all passed polygraphs on there.
Yep.
So he knows that for a fact, that the polygraphs were passed.
Yep. So in order for Dr. Phil to say it, he's got to see the proof, right?
Right.
So, because otherwise he's not saying it. Like
that's
that,
right.
I haven't watched Dr. Phil in years, but that's at least the way he used to work. Like
that's how he works. He makes sure that everything he says is factual.
Right.
For his, now then he says his opinion too, and he makes sure, just like you did, in your opinion.
Right.
So as far as our channel goes, I'm gonna, like, this is how we run it, and I'll say this. When we have to stay neutral, just like Jason does. We're all neutral. We have to be neutral. That's what we all have personal opinions, but as far as what we take into account, we have to be neutral. We have to say, yes, okay, we put a note in, that happened, this happened, whatever. But in the big picture, we take the facts of what law enforcement puts out to us and what public information is put out to us. So I'm going to take it into account. If this man owns this property next door and he says, deputies tell me if I'm going to talk about it to be 100% about it and be clear about it, then I agree that happened. And I also know other people that went and investigated and said, yes, it's true. They're there. That happened.
Yep.
So, and I'm, it's neither here nor there. I don't need to say who did or who didn't, but that, it was handled correctly. I'll tell you that things were handled correctly. They know about it. The scent trail's there. This is the thing, though, that we're going to talk about. Why are people saying, why is this just now coming out? The reason it's just now coming out and that we can talk about it now is because that man, when he came out with this information, he literally took everything that he said off of Facebook because he got bashed so bad.
Well, everybody started posting everything about this person.
They doxed him.
They doxed him, his whole family, everything. And it was just ridiculous.
Look, just to be fair, as soon as this guy posted, I knew who he was, what properties he owned, and right. But, and I gave that information to Gonzo. That's it, right? So,
and
that
chasing,
doesn't mean he's being dishonest, though, right? It doesn't mean he's being dishonest. It means there's more there to take a look at. And that, in order to take a look at it, here's what I want people to understand. And here's where you're screwing people up and messing up these cases. Not you guys, the general public, right? When you take this and you give death threats to people and you harass people on Facebook and you go for them like balls out and you're being not a good human, number one. And you're making people stay silent who would otherwise maybe come out and give us information and say something to law enforcement, which might be completely crucial, right? And you need to understand that when you're doing this to these people, you're not helping. you're not helping at all. Giving death threats to family members and neighbors and whatever, and harassing people and tracking people down and showing up at their houses and doing all this kind of crazy stuff. It's not helpful.
Let me tell you about it. I know this personally because I talked to one of the neighbors that lives down there. When this happened, they were so upset. This woman, this neighbor, did everything. She cooked dinner for the Wells, took dishes up there, tried to, I believe Don came down and thanked them and said thank you. Had a long talk with. They were praying with him. These people are receiving death threats in their mailbox, and they have nothing to do with it.
See, that's so wrong. Why? Because you're a neighbor of the Wells?
Right.
Why? Because you're being a good human? Because you're being a good neighbor? Because you're doing exactly what the Bible tells us to do?
Yeah.
Right? It's not our job to judge. It's not our job to do these things to people. It's our job to be kind and generous and compassionate and understanding, right? And anything beyond that, that's not up to us. That's up to law enforcement and God, period.
Exactly.
That's right. That's right.
So just stop.
And
stop doing this to people. Stop doing this to cases because you're not helping.
That's right.
You're making it harder.
It's true. And Diane, I want to go on with what you and Jason. I want to get your point of view on this. As somebody that's been in law enforcement, is it helpful when people do this and put their nose into stuff like that?
That it's kind of, in my personal opinion, a 50-50 thing. With the social media and the internet we have now, it's great in the fact that we're able to keep Summer's name out there and get it spread more and more and more. But you have to take into account what law enforcement's doing and not necessarily put your nose in it.
Right.
Everyone is entitled to their own opinions. But again, this is about Summer. I think we need to, everyone, I wish would stick to that fact of it's for her. If I don't really know what to say.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying, like the death threats and stuff to neighbors and that stuff, that's uncalled for.
That's wrong. Yeah,
That's
absolutely.
totally
I mean, those people, like the lady said, because they're a neighbor. I mean, that's just nonsense.
Right. And, and we know that somebody said in the chat, you'll never be able to control them. No, but we can come out into a on a platform and say, and be different than the masses and say, hey, it ain't right. It ain't right.
We can say unequivocally, that's wrong. And you're wrong. And you're not being godlike or kind or anything, whatever you believe in. Even if you don't believe in anything, you should at least believe in being a kind human. Like just stop. That's just ridiculous.
And Diane, I didn't want to miss your comment. I just saw it. You said that's the reason we go back. That's the reason I said the other day, let's go back to the beginning. But at the beginning, if y'all haven't followed us since then, but back at the beginning, there was a lot of people that didn't even know that JD, Jackie Dobbs, that even was involved with it. They said, who is this guy? We did a video on him.
As soon as we made our channel,
3 months ago, we tried to let people know that there was a lot of weird things going on around this. There was that's not even all of it. There was so much that we talked about in the beginning that got ignored for the same reason, because once you label somebody as your main number one public enemy number one, and they are in the public the court of the public opinion, that in trial by media,
a lot of people just look at one person and they don't look at the whole big picture.
There was so many people that said, we don't care where the evidence goes, we're still gonna.
I've been called a disgusting human being in live streams that I've been in comments of, like saying, hey, wait, you're off base here. And obviously you've never talked to the Wells family, right? Obviously you've never talked to anybody actually deeply involved in this case, because you're wrong on your facts and you're spewing things that are totally inaccurate and causing things that don't need to be caused, right? I've been called a disgusting human being because I'm willing to say, look, no, you're wrong, right? you can call me whatever you want to call me. Honestly, I don't I don't care. You have no idea the things I've been called in my lifetime. However, when you've got, thank you, the tunnel vision. When you've got that tunnel vision and you refuse to see the rest of it, and you refuse to look at the rest of it, including what's come out since the beginning, things like these footprints and Jackie Dobbs, and there's other things too, right? We're not talking about those right now, so I'm not going to throw them out there. But when you refuse to do that, you're hurting the case. You're not helping at any way, shape, or form bring these people home. You're hurting the chances of doing so, because the more time that goes by, the longer it takes to come and sort through all of this stuff, the less chance there is that these people are going to be alive and be brought home safely. Period.
Right. And we're not saying this. Basically, what we're saying is our personal opinion doesn't matter. That anybody here on this panel, and speaking for Gonzo, when the evidence goes whatever way it goes, we will go that way.
Yeah.
Right. Absolutely.
But at the end of the day, I don't have to go back and apologize for anything, because I know that I didn't treat people wrong.
No, right.
That's the main thing. I don't have to say, well, I don't have to be what's it called? I don't have to be closed-minded and say, well, they're still guilty regardless of what evidence says.
And there are plenty of people who have said, even if Don and Candace are 100% innocent, that they will still think that they are guilty. And I mean,
and that's ridiculous to me,
right,
because that's not what it's about. That's not what it's supposed to be about, right? Honestly, so the way that I am, it doesn't matter to me who's guilty or innocent.
Exactly.
I just want to find this person who's missing, and I want their family to be able to have closure, or whatever. Whatever the case. Look, if we can bring them home alive, absolutely, by the grace of God, yes, right? But let's be realistic here. The chances of us doing that in cases once they get to be so far out is not very large, right? So would I love to bring Suzanne Morphew home and find her alive?
Yeah.
But the chances of that happening are slim, right? You got to be open-minded. You can't be closed-minded, and you can't put people in a box, and you can't crucify people and then expect them to be willing to talk to you. Like, you just can't.
Oh my gosh, people are over here trying to say that Seeds of Hope is AKA Ziggy. That is not true.
Ziggy, and she's not the private investigators. I've seen
Ziggy?
Yeah, they're trying to say you're Ziggy, and they're trying to say that you're the private investigators.
Yeah.
That is not true. Do not start those rumors here, and we will clear that out of the chat.
No.
So
anybody who wants to think anything of me, you're welcome to. My name is Naomi. I am a real human. I am a mom of 5. I'm currently going through a divorce.
You don't
I
have
work
to
a full-time job. I'm just me. Literally, I'm just me. I don't know who I sound like or what I sound like. I've never watched this Ziggy person. I'm not the Wells' private investigator. I do speak to them, but I'm not them. You're welcome to email me at Naomi at plantseedsofhope.com, and I will give you my real name. And, look, don't be a dick to me, though, because I'm a pretty protective person.
Right. And, this, and I'm not, this is the thing. Anything you see over here, I promise you, people are who they say they are all the time. That's
100%.
What we say. That's 100%.
100%.
Jason here is 100% the real deal. He came here. He does what he says he's going to do and more. He said, "Hey, I told people that I wasn't going to be here for months, and I've already been here working." And I was like, "That's the way it should be. That's the way it should happen." And Jason, we appreciate.
Look, that's all that matters, right? That's all that matters.
Right. I'm just here to search the waters, and hopefully someone's not in there. But I'm here to search the water, and that's it.
To be honest with you, y'all don't understand like what it actually took for me to have the time to do this live tonight. Like, I'm busy as all get out. Like every moment of every day, from the time I wake up at like 5 o'clock in the morning, which is honestly late for me, so till 11 o'clock at night, I am on the go. I'm moving. I've got shit to do. Pardon my language.
Okay.
I don't have time to mess around. I don't have time to pretend to be somebody I'm not. I'm a real person. I'm 100% straight up. I'm 100% legit. And that's all I got to say to you.
Let's make this clear while we're all here on this panel real quick. Somebody said they don't think JD was that we're not saying that he did anything.
No.
What we're pointing out is the things that he put out as public information did not add up on some things. They were very suspicious, and we pointed them out. I have constantly said, if the man wants to come up on a panel and talk about it, let's talk about it.
Or if he just wants to talk to us behind
or
the
you
scenes,
want to talk about us behind the scenes, that's not our place. You don't have to do that. You don't have to answer to me. You don't have to answer to anybody but law enforcement.
Exactly.
But all we said was, hey, let's talk about it. You went out of your way to make sure that to say, and he changed his story multiple times, and people noticed that. He there was just about with when he was like his story at the motel, like he had to change it 3 or 4 times. Go back and check out the live that we did with Amanda Vita the other night, and we cleared that up. We'll show you everything step by step, and if you want to see even more about it, go back and check the video we did.
Does JD's alibi hold up?
JD's alibi hold up? And we'll put the link. Natasha, if you're in here, throw that link to that video in the chat if you don't care.
So Beach Blanket asked if I have any certifications, law enforcement, private investigator, or if I'm just a person giving my opinion. I am definitely not law enforcement or a private investigator. I am not licensed or practiced in any of those fields. I feel like I'm more than just a person giving my opinion, because I'm not just out here speaking my opinion baseless. Like, I put time, effort, and research into this stuff that I'm willing to speak on. And when I tell you time, research, and effort, I'm talking thousands of hours I've put into this stuff. Like, I'm not just giving my general opinion. I'm giving you my educated opinion as much as I can educate myself on things. I talk to family members. I talk to other people in the cases. I put work in every day. I do what I do. It's just my opinion, but it's not just my baseless opinion. So.
Well, Kim Holmes, they said, Kim, is it true that someone was on horseback in the hills possibly? Okay, now back at the beginning, this was one of the Lights. This is actually Frank Light's brother that was told that he could go up on horseback and search his own property.
Which everyone was told to search their own property.
Which everyone was told down there to search their own property, but he was told at one point by law enforcement to go up on. This was during the search to go check his own property up there. That's what you're referring to, I believe. If I'm wrong. Now, that's the only thing I know of horseback right now. Guys, I'm trying to catch up on the chat right here. Let's see. Okay, here's Gone.
Dude, windswept. Man, I got to tell you, when did I ever say I'm the only one here working for this case?
Yeah.
When did I ever say I'm the only one here working for Summer? I said, come on. Don't be a tactless fool.
Please be respectful to the people that we have on panel.
Yeah, that's all we ask.
Yeah.
She's been here since the beginning. She's not the only one. There's lots of researchers that I can point out that are even in our chat right now.
I'm not even close to the only one. And honestly, I haven't had the time in my life to focus lately, right? I'm just now finding the time to get back into these cases and do what I do.
Thank you, Libby, for saying that.
No, there's a lot more well-educated people on these cases. I just know that these things that came out in the beginning, they were very, very important, and they weren't followed the way they were supposed to, because so much other drama and tactless information came out that it just it overtook, because that's what people want, right? They want the drama, they want the clicks, they want the craziness. They don't want to actually focus on what's necessarily important. And that is what it is. You're all of your own free will and your own free choice. But I'm just telling you, you're not doing the cases any favors by doing
right.
that.
And Libby, y'all have there every bit right to think this, because of the things that have come out on Dr. Phil.
Yeah.
And everybody has their opinion to think that, because what the behavior panel said, even before, that's your right in your opinion to have that. And you've always been respectful about it when you come over here. And that's fine. And that's what we're fine with. We're fine with difference of opinion. We're just trying to get to the truth, regardless of what that is. But when, we're going to bring out the facts of the case and what evidence we have, that's what we're going to talk about. And, I met I met Libby at the vigil they had down there at the horse pond. And I really liked her, even though we have difference of opinion and stuff. That's okay. And it's okay that people have difference of opinion, but we all have to work together for truth.
100%.
Right.
Look, I've always said, like, even with Barry Morphew or, Don Wells, I've always said, look, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. And I'll be the first to admit that I'm wrong. I don't ever mind admitting when I'm wrong. I just don't. If it is what it is, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's about bringing Suzanne home. It's about bringing Summer home. It's about bringing everyone home that deserves to come home. These family members deserve to have closure. These people who are missing deserve to have closure. They deserve to be laid with respect, and treated with respect and dignity before they're found. Obviously something has happened to make it lacking in dignity and respect already. And so they've already lost that. And we just need to bring it back and give it to them.
Right. And
it's just not okay.
The church that they're talking about, Creek Squad, Tennessee, the church that she's talking, what is the name of the one with the Solomon's Temple is, I believe, which one she's talking about.
It's at the very end of Ben Hill. Well,
it's on Beach Creek, where it goes off to Lone Star. Yeah. It splits to Lone Star there.
We would assume that's the church.
I believe that's the church. And we'll talk about Frank Light real quick. We're on an hour and 37 seconds. So I want to talk. Yes, he is. Southern Mommy, your question about Frank Light. Is he a known S offender? Yes, he is. And he actually, his ex-wife was one that reported him and said that he might have knowledge of this, and that's why he was investigated. Let me go to the bottom here. Jason, you've been really quiet, man. Is there anything you want to talk about, buddy?
Oh, I'm along for the ride, sitting back, reading the comments. I saw a few questions on there for me that asking if we would search whales or if we just do diving. No, we'll certainly search whales if anyone in this room or local and have them on the property. We have a camera on a cord, I guess we'll just call it. Our ROV, we can take down 200 feet underwater. So if you've got a whale, we can certainly get that checked out.
Yeah,
I have heard that there is a well, possibly more than one well on the Wells' property. I'm sure Cam and Alli can get you in contact with Don and Candace and get you access to that property. So
yeah, we can, and that's what I will work on that for you, man. If you want to search those things, we'll work on that.
100%.
Absolutely, I would like to. Any water in that area, I would like to search. And it, as I said in my first live that I did with you, that this isn't something that's going to happen overnight. It's going to take a long time to search. There's so much water in that area, but we're going to mark them off the list one by one.
Sorry, guys.
I dropped
Yep.
my laptop closed and dropped. Okay, guys. Sorry. If you see me disappear, just slam down.
Oh, because I saw it.
Let me. Yeah, we'll work on. Sorry, I lost it. I kind of got shut off there and didn't hear anything that was being said.
Oh,
Go
here's
ahead.
one thing I saw come up in the comments from Joanne asking about what about any waterfalls in that area. Almost, she's asking if there are any or if we will be searching those. We will search. We'll definitely search waterfalls, but we are trying to focus on what is more of a possibility. Something, I know there's a waterfall not too far from the home, but it's like a public government-owned park, maybe. So there's a lot of people always there, and just me personally, I wouldn't see anything happening there. So we'll mark places like that out for now, but we'll certainly come back to them at a later time because you never know. But areas that are have a lot of people visiting, if someone's abducted or any type of foul play takes place, you wouldn't want to do it where someone visits often. So when we're searching the waters, we look for places that are desolate and that where something could happen and nothing would ever be seen.
Jason, people want to know if you take donations and if there's any way that they could send you any.
Okay, that is so thoughtful of everyone, and we greatly appreciate that so much. But no, we will not accept any donations of any kind.
I
I understand it does cost us quite a bit of money each trip. We're about, me and the other guy, it's about 2-hour drive for us to get there. And the air that we use and the gas, everything else. But it's the least that we could do to help bring summer home. Again, it's so thoughtful of everyone. We appreciate it, but we don't want a single penny for this.
That's
very cool.
That's awesome. And
not everybody's like that.
Right.
Good
I
to
will
hear.
say that there has been many, many people involved in this case that are doing this just out of the goodness of their heart. And that shows that there are still a lot of good people in the world.
Michelle Watkins, you'll have to go back. We talked about the pond behind JS's property, and he's looking into that.
And also, we talked about Nita Diver's background as well.
Yeah, you can go back and check
that.
Go to their Facebook too, guys. If y'all mods,
Natasha,
if one of the mods can get his link and throw it in there.
Yeah, Natasha has put it in there a few times. Can you put it in there again, please?
So Music City Mom too just happened to say they asked if Seeds of Hope takes donations. No, I do not.
Right.
I feel the same way. I do what I can out of my own pocket and out of my heart. I don't ask for, I don't accept, and I don't need donations. Thank you very much though.
Right. And as far as we go, when we had to hit 1,000 to get our community section, all that, we have their super chat thing is there. We don't ask for it. But if you send them, they go straight to what we put into this case. But we don't ask you for money. We don't want nothing from nobody. And that's how it is. We do this to bring information factual to the public and what we can and show what we're doing for this case.
And I want to speak on the well on the Wells property. It has been searched. Law enforcement searched that early on, and so it has been searched. That's all I know.
Okay.
Numerous times by numerous people.
Right.
Yeah, not just law enforcement. I know GonZo's been up in there too. So
yeah.
And you guys have been up in there too. So.
Are you talking about the property or the wells, Alpha?
I'm talking about the well on the Wells property.
Oh, the well on the Wells property has been searched.
Yes.
Yeah, we just talked. I guess she just got that from somebody that knows.
See, that's the problem when we talk about the wells and the well.
Yeah.
Guys,
we can do it again.
I'm seeing all the comments. Thank you all, guys, and you're most welcome. It's an honor. Again, it's the least that we can do to bring Summer home. We are located. I'm in New Tazewell, and the other guy that dies with me, Caleb, is in Knoxville. Is where we're located. And they've put a link to our Facebook page, so you're welcome to go look at that. You'll see many items that we have recovered. The videos that were where you could actually see something, I've got some of those posted on there. There's 1,000 that I've not been able to because you can't see anything where the water's so dark or murky. But you all are welcome to check out the page, and you'll certainly see that I am who I say I am.
Kelly, what I want to know what everybody's saying. What is this red flag about? If you're gonna say it, let's see what we're talking about here. What's red flags?
Everything's a red flag, Cam.
Oh, I know. That's right. It's just craziness, man. People are gonna hate regardless. Thank you for everybody tonight. We appreciate you. Thank you for everybody and all that we're doing, that y'all are doing, and that we come together and what we can do together. Guys, let's treat everybody with kindness. Thank you to Jason. Thank you, Naomi. Thank you to Gonzo for coming on. We're gonna, I guess, close this down. This is the point that you'll watch the chat or everybody that's viewing this go down, because I pray at the end of this you'll watch it drop right now. Watch it. It'll be funny. It goes down, but that's okay.
But that's okay.
Because that's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to pray and treat and intercede for each other in prayer.
That's right.
And that's what God wants us, how He wants us to be, and treat others as you would want to be treated.
That's right.
Let's talk about this. If anybody, let's put ourselves in other people's shoes. If this was happening to you, would you not want people to rally around you and help you? So I don't know. I just thank you guys for everything, and we appreciate it. And if y'all want to stay around, we'll pray and we'll close it down for the night. All right. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for everything tonight that's happened. Thank you for the people that have rallied together in this case, Lord. We lift up Summer Moon Utah Wells, and we ask that you put a hedge of protection around her. We ask that answers will come forward, and that the person, if there is somebody that is involved in this case that did something with this little girl, we ask that they are brought to justice, no matter who it is. With the evidence points that way, Lord, we ask that we can go that way and we can find answers. God, thank you for each and every one of us that are making a difference. Even people in the chat, people that come together that have an open heart or are really looking at every aspect of things. Lord, thank you for the blessings you put in our life. We ask that you bless each and every one that is here tonight, regardless of anything. Lord, we know that you're there for us. No matter how we act, when we turn to you, you're always there. In Jesus' name I pray, amen.
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 Guys, thank y'all so much. And remember, at the end of the day, everybody wants justice.
But justice doesn't have to be carried out with hate.
All right, see you guys.